Brodie Brazil with Drew Remenda here at the Tank following a 5-2 Sharks win on home ice. Let's check all the boxes here. First home win of the season.
You're right.
First regulation win of the season, and really first decisive Sharks win of this season, like the one where they felt in control of the game most of the night. Where do you want to start with this one?
Well, let's start with William Eklund, Alex Wenberg, and Philip Kirsch.
Great line.
Fantastic line.
Yep.
And William Eklund now has points, and I think it's 5 straight games.
He's on a
9
roll.
or 10 points. He has been absolutely terrific. And in the third period, he blocks a shot.
Yep.
Alex Wenberg's so patient with the puck, so good with the puck. And Kurashev, we had to sit out a game, but then, this is a guy who scored 17 goals playing for the last place team, Chicago.
Right.
And then, second last place team. We were the last place team.
I knew.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. He's able to now start to find his scoring touch again.
Yeah.
So that line, really important. But then I want to go back to the second period. Second period, we knew that the Jersey Devils were going to push, right? And they did. They push, and the Sharks are in their zone.
You going to talk about Ned here?
I'm going to talk about Alex and
I knew you were. I knew you were.
What we talked about before the show at the production meeting was the goaltenders need to give the Sharks a chance. They need to make the save that's there.
Right.
Sometimes it's not how many you make, it's when you make them.
Right.
Now, as the Sharks are under siege and there's 14-3 shot attempts versus New Jersey.
Right.
Jersey's got all the momentum. They got all the forecheck pressure. Alex Nedeljkovic comes up with save after save after save and keeps that lead. And that allowed the Sharks just to breathe a little bit. And then they got 2 little simple plays. Puck gets deep in the zone, couple shots, and then an offensive zone face-off, and then Macklin Celebrini comes out with Will Smith. And Macklin Celebrini had been neutralized pretty much most of this game.
Yeah.
But he's a difference maker. And the difference maker makes the difference, winning the draw, getting the puck over to Will scores. And then all of a sudden, things change.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Yep.
A couple other guys.
Yep.
Dmitry Orlov.
Yes.
How good was he tonight? Very physical guy.
Yep.
And he elbowed a Palat back there, and then Palat takes around.
You like that part.
Yeah,
I can
did.
tell. Yeah.
But I was wondering why. I said to Randy, I was wondering why they were keep going after Orlov.
Right.
And Randy went, well, this is the 48th game because he played all his time in the East.
Out East. Yep.
So that was interesting.
Right.
And Timothy Liljegren.
Yep.
Skating, moving his feet. He was injured a couple of games, but he's come back and played so well, moving his feet, very aggressive in the neutral zone, physical.
Fresh.
Yeah, exactly. I really liked his game as well. So there was lots of pluses on the side of the Sharks.
And especially when I go back to what you said about Nedeljkovic, after Askarov had 3 straight starts and looked good and earned those starts, great for Ned to make a statement of his own.
Yeah.
Maybe Ned gets a couple starts in a row. We'll see. The other thing is, we've always talked about what's next for the Sharks, learning how to win. Well, going up 3-0 tonight, and I get it was 3-1 by the end of 20, but they managed the win. And I do feel, as much as we talked about late game managing situations, this was an early game managing situation. They learned how to win one tonight.
Yeah, they did. In the second period, it was nail-biting time. It was the same old Sharks, right?
Yeah.
Now, all the pressure that Jersey brought, the Sharks were flipping the puck. They couldn't get the puck out. They were losing battles on the boards. They were losing races to the puck. But because they're a goaltender, they were able to survive that. In the third period, still, it was a dominant performance by the New Jersey Devils. I think the attempted shots were 18-3 at one point.
They just won 8 in a row recently, right?
Yeah,
they're a really good team.
Of a team.
Yeah.
But it was a situation where sometimes you're outmanned, you're outmatched. They're a better team right now than the San Jose Sharks.
Right.
But the Sharks did not break. They have bent, but they didn't break.
Yep.
We've seen so many times in the last couple of years.
Yep. They broke.
They break.
Yep.
This time they didn't.
Yep.
And as that third period kept going, the Sharks were better. They got pucks behind the defense. They stood up in the neutral zone. They were quicker to close on pressure. Except Dawson Mercer, man, that guy around the net, scary good. But they, like you said, it wasn't a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It wasn't a Picasso, but they were able to manage and paint themselves into a situation where they put themselves in the best position to win the game, thanks to goaltending, and they were able to just persevere.
Yep.
It wasn't pretty.
Yep.
I agree with you. There's 20 great minutes.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was okay.
Sticking with it, right?
Let's stick with it. Let's try to just grit it out, and they're able to do that.
We've been keeping our morale up ever since the start, So I feel like it's been better and better. We started to get to know each other more, how we play. You gotta think it's a completely new team, pretty much. So, we're learning how guys are gonna play out there, and I think we stringing some games together here, and we getting better and better every game, and I think that's the biggest part.
The way that we played, from start to the second half, the start through the second period, and then the second half of that third period was really good. And if we can put together a full 60 minutes, I think we'll dominate a little bit more. We'll have more games like we did against LA, where we're out shooting teams by quite a bit and whatnot. We're playing in their end a little bit more. But I mean, they got a lot of skill on that end. They got some high-powered players, and they're going to get their chances and they're going to get their looks and stuff like that. So it's. But I thought we did a good job limiting them, especially 5-on-5. You give them 2 on the power play. The one, Jack made a nice play, nice shot pass, and then they get a little bit of a good bounce there on the second one too. So, but we can live with those. We'll clean up some things on the PK. But I think 5-on-5 tonight we were really good.
I want to make one last point, and it's really a bigger picture look. Starting with the beginning of last road trip, those were 4 good games.
Yes,
they were only 2 wins on that
yep.
trip. They could have got more.
Yep.
I thought their last game before tonight against the Kings, they were down 0-3. They tied it up at 3. They were that close to winning. They lost 4-3. I think we've looked at really 6 straight really good performances by the Sharks. And despite wins and losses, I know that's what we're here for. But despite that, there's been some really encouraging trends.
Well, Randy asked me that question before I came down and talked to you. Okay,
me and Randy on the same wavelength?
Same wavelength. Look at this first month.
Yeah,
okay?
right.
So, what do you take away from this first month where the Sharks are different than they were last month?
It's a great one.
So, for me, I take away first and foremost the starts of games.
Yeah. Yes.
They're much better starting the game.
Look at like tonight.
Starting on time.
Yep.
Number 2, the pace at which they play. They're a faster team.
Yep.
They play with better pace. Number 3, their power play is clicking. They're pretty darn good in the power play. Number 4, they've got more balance from top to bottom. There's not a big drop off from line 1 to line 2 to line 3 to line 4. Number 5 is that when you look at them, there is goaltending there. And listen, I'm the first one to tell you, I was worried about the goaltending. I didn't think I was going to be, but now I am. But tonight, you got some good goaltending. Ashcroft played well on the road. So that it's the potential is there with the goaltending. But when I look at the individuals, William Mecklin, Alex Wenberg, Philip Kurashev, Macklin Celebrini, and the way that he has played and elevated his game and elevated the team, Will Smith, Liljegren, Orlov, what guys we talked about, you're seeing them start to try to push the team and bring them into a winning situation. So there are positives. I think if this team continues to trend in the right direction like they have been, then this could be a much better season than we've seen in the past couple of years.
Dan Boyle was pretty good filling in for you the other night, but there is nothing like a Drew Remenda post-game chat.
Dan Boyle may be better looking, but he ain't me, I'll tell you that right now.